Hello, creative friends. It's been a hot minute since I've done something more creative than just ink swatching or talking about inks or my planner. So I thought about looking at doing a watercolor piece. And by doing watercolor piece, I mean just painting. So I thought it'd be interesting, and I haven't done this yet, but I thought it'd be interesting to see how far I've come in terms of my watercolor journey. I literally started my watercolor journey simply just liking the way the water kind of rolls around or, flows around a page and just kind of how it looks when it dries. That's literally why I got into watercolor. Plus, it was another medium. It was therapeutic and satisfying. And I just really like the results from it, that it's water and paint and it turns into something beautiful. Beautiful, subjective. My work probably isn't beautiful, but it is still just me playing in this life and trying new things out. Anyway, so I thought it'd be great to kind of do a before and after. So this, when I first started watercoloring, these are the little books that I ordered from Amazon. They came in a 3-pack. They were the Arteza, I don't even know what size this is, like 3.5 by 5, maybe, roughly. And so I thought, okay, like let's not start on a big canvas, let's start small. And literally that really applies for anything new that you're learning. Start small. I mean, that makes sense, right? But I find too, like I'm trying to do a lot more sketching and stuff now. Just kind of like keep my brain going and try new things. And it's a skill that I kind of want to hone. And I used to have that skill, maybe not, I don't know, like not like a pro, I guess, but I definitely had a skill to be able to draw or sketch something fairly loosely. And so just trying to hone in on that ability again and kind of, be able to take in, what's around me and sketch it out. Anyways, that's not what this is about. Closing that tab. But this is what I started on for watercolor. And yeah, it literally like I didn't even know like what this book would be for. It's really just like, I want to slap some paint on here and see what happens. And so don't laugh, but this was in 2021. This is my first ever watercolor painting. So I thought I had planted these cone flowers in my garden and I was like, I can paint those. It's, how hard can it be, right? Like, I got the gist of it and stuff. And lo and behold, was pretty humbled when I painted this, but I love it because it's funny to me, because I can see, where my skill has grown because I've learned and understand now some of the properties of watercolor and sort of like what you need to do to achieve certain effects and stuff. And again, by no means am I, amazing at it, but if we look at, where I am now, let me see if I can find a floral one in here. But even just this one, I guess, like this is pretty simple in terms of like a leaf. Like this is just eucalyptus leaves. And I mean, it's literally just like putting water down, paint down. And again, not amazing. There's so many more amazing work out there. And that's not to invalidate me or another person's artwork and stuff. But just seeing like, even just the difference in technique and skill between this one and this one is just nutty to me. So I think when I look at my art, and this is, it's a lesson that can apply across all spectrums or experiences in life. It's really just kind of starting where you are and just, if it's something you enjoy, keeping at it. And so the funny part now is I actually don't know if I can actually paint a coneflower nice or not. So I thought it might be fun to like paint a coneflower, and see kind of whether I have grown in skill when it comes to this. So the other thing I will say too is this coneflower, what I tried to do is I didn't use any sort of photo reference. Typically what I do with most paintings and stuff is I find that I do better when I have a reference, whether I'm sitting there and looking at something or whether I've pulled something online to kind of like mirror. This one I just kind of pulled from my head and it probably wasn't, the best. And so maybe that shows you a lot of what's going in my head. I have no idea, but anyways, let's get started. I'm going to actually find a photo of a coneflower because if I was to paint this with a vision of what's in my head, I just don't have that to pull from. And so I will just use what I find on the web and we will try to find something similar in terms of the angle and whatnot and try to recreate it. So let's go. Let's do this. All right. Okay. So let's get painting. So I already pre-sketched out the coneflower only because I need to use my phone to video, but I also do have my laptop to the side here so I can reference the photo as I paint. But I'm glad I sketched out. The coneflower is already looking 10 times better than what I had before. Clearly, you know, however many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I had no concept of perspective. Although I think I did, like I was like, but coneflowers, you're not looking at the coneflower like that. So I don't know. Anyways, but I have it sketched out, so I don't need my pencil anymore. And then the supplies I'm using today, I have my ceramic plate that I use for mixing. This is from the dollar store. Literally just use an old dinner plate that you no longer want or need, or source them from a garage sale or dollar store, and it is more than sufficient. I have all these brushes, but when I started, I only really had really cheap brushes from Michael's. And I think these are these Craft Smart ones. They're like wooden handles, but they're still one of my favorites to this day. Like, I will not get rid of these until they die. And then my most expensive is this quill brush, which I don't quite reach for as much because it's so big and I haven't really quite gotten the hang of using it, but I do have it out. And then I have these other ones, and these are like, I think 10 4s and 6s or something like that. I don't know. They've worn out because these are also cheaper versions. I would say like, well, cheaper, less expensive versions that come in a multi-pack. And then this is an individual. This is a Winsor & Newton size 10 round, and this comes in, you have to purchase these individually, I believe. So I started, my favorite brushes, I will say, are still these brushes here. They are so versatile and they do the job. I'm not painting things that I'm selling, and even if I was, I guess it doesn't really matter. The tools, it's more about, well, it's about the tools too, but it's also about, you know, whether someone sees value in your work and stuff, right? So anyways, those are the supplies that I'm using. I also have this Winsor & Newton iridescent medium that I'm using that I want to pull into some of the watercolor paint to add a little bit of shimmer to it. And then I have my palette here that I always use. Like, I always lean towards this. This is just a palette I got off, I think I bought it at Winners in Canada. And then these are all Daniel Smith inks with the exception of these three here, which are something else. I can't remember what, but I tend to just typically use these. I love these. This came in a set for most of them. I think from here all the way to about here, maybe they came in a set, and these are additional Daniel Smith watercolors. Those are my favorite type of watercolors to use. And I just find that this set is versatile, and the set that it came in was for, there's an artist, so it was kind of in collaboration with an artist that he created the set, and so they're kind of geared for like florals and stuff, so I do use the set quite a bit. So it is, World Cup fever here, as I'm sure it is around the world right now. So I'm actually going to time lapse me painting this, and then it's not so long and boring because it's obviously not a fast process. And then, so you'll just have a time lapse and some music, and then I'll come back and, you know, once it's all dried and done, we will kind of compare and see, you know, how we did. And it's all subjective because you know, I'm probably my own worst critic anyways, but let's see what happens. Okay, we're back. So you probably saw me use a dryer to speed up the drying process because I do tend to get impatient when I want to get something done. And so I did blow dry this to dry it a little bit faster. But I'm thrilled with this. Like, okay, let me just show you. So this is before, this is 2021. Then I took, you know, I tried watercolor, just played around with it for a little bit. Then I kind of put it aside and I went on to other things. I think I turned to mixed media and collaging and trying that out, and tried jelly printing and all that sort of stuff. And then I would say it was within the last year and a half that I kind of jumped back into watercolor, thanks to, you know, discovering fountain pen inks and all that stuff. And so this is 2021, took a couple years off, went back into it, and then dived heavily into painting again and kind of learning different techniques. And this is the evolution of where I got to. So I think I have grown in skill. And I'm thrilled. Like this, I mean, there's probably things you can pick apart from this for sure. I mean, I don't feel like I have the right dimension and stuff for the leaves and, you know, some of the, but like perspective wise and just the loose feeling, like I think I nailed it compared to this one, and just kind of where I'm at. And then I'm really thrilled with that I painted this. Yeah, so this just goes to show that, you know, if you want to do something new, stick with it. It's always hard at the beginning. It's not always easy at the get-go. Some people are natural, you know, have a natural ability or natural talent to pick something up and just kind of really like go with it. But honestly, for most people, it takes just practice. Keep at it. If you really find you're passionate about something or really enjoy something, just hone in those skills. And before you know it, when you look back, you have grown. So that's my message for you today, is to keep at whatever you are trying to accomplish. And before I know it, you'll be from here and you'll land here. And who knows, in a year, 2 years, 5 years, what my paintings could look like. I don't know, but it depends what I focus on, because I have a lot of different creative hobbies that I love diving into. But definitely painting with watercolor and fountain pen inks is one of them. So here's just a closer up of the image itself painted. And so I did use the iridescent ink mixed in with fountain pen ink and watercolor. So it's sort of kind of a mishmash of colors. You can see from my plate here that I used the iridescent, this old fountain pen ink from Ferris Wheel Press. It all reconstituted fairly well with a couple sprays of water. And then I added a dab of Daniel Smith. I don't remember what color this is, but I added a dab of this into, or this one actually, into it, and mixed it up to kind of get this rich, kind of fuchsia-y looking purple. So thrilled with it. I will post a little inspiration photo that I found on Pinterest here, and you can kind of see and compare sort of, you know, inspiration, vision, kind of before and after. But if you enjoyed this, please give me a like, please subscribe. I do try to keep, you know, I don't really have a theme for my YouTube channel, I would say. I think that I am sort of a hot mess on like my YouTube channels and stuff. And I totally just started there, but that's totally fine. I really, you know, like nothing is consistent. And I don't know why. I think it's not that I'm an inconsistent person. Maybe I am, but I think it's also like I just have so many different loves and hobbies and things that I want to share. And so it's sort of like all over the place. But if you like that kind of feeling and never knowing what to expect, please subscribe and please join me for the next one. I don't know what the next video will be, but it just, again, things just come up. I film it and then I go, and I don't really film. I don't film everything because I don't want to take the joy out of creating for myself also. But I do film, you know, sometimes I'll have an idea and I will film that and stuff like that. So if you have ideas too, drop that, you have things you'd like to see, drop them below. Always up for ideas and stuff. But yeah, you'll likely just see paintings here, fountaining stuff, planner stuff. That's sort of kind of my like passion right now, I would say. But you know, this channel will kind of evolve with my passions. Maybe it's, you know, sketching down the road, maybe it's collaging. I really have no idea. So join the ride. Anyways, thank you so much for being here and for watching and for subscribing, and like this video if you would like, or share it. Have a good day or night wherever you are, and whatever team you're cheering for the World Cup, go your team. I'm cheering for Canada. Hopefully they make it into the knockout stage. We will see, but we will be back. Have a great one. Bye.